A quartet of horses here. This is a repeat visit for you. You came last year. How does coming back a second time help you with what to expect?
I think it helps. We didn't know what to expect last year, and it's different. It's a 4-mile walk to and from the track, and the way they van them to the races, and you kind of go underground, and the paddock's different. So, no assistant starters and no ponies and things of that nature. So it's different, and hopefully we learned some lessons last year that can help us win this year.
Were you able to utilize any of those things at home, knowing like there's going to be a huge walk? Like, do you kind of prepare them by walking before you train at all?
We normally walk them. I like them. I train in big sets, so we get up and we walk, 5, 10, 15 minutes, but you can't prepare them for the 2-mile each way walk that they have here. So it's different. So I just try not to train them too much because of the amount of walking they do.
You put in works this morning. First set maybe didn't go as planned. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened to the turf works?
Oh, just a little mix-up. Kent didn't understand that we wanted to go on the dirt, but it worked out fine. They backed up on the grass, so they got a feel for the turf course, and then they breezed on the dirt. Richard's Boy and Conquest Tsunami.
And then Roy H. and Stormy Liberal both put in intentional works on the dirt. What were your thoughts for them?
I'm very happy. Stormy looked like he was maybe a little faster than I would have liked, 35-ish, but Roy, just what we wanted, 37, well off the rail, just kind of open gallop for him.
Pete, go back to December when, the fires happened. Did you think in just a couple months you'd be bringing some of these horses from the fires here?
No, definitely not. It's been a crazy road since December. Belvoir Bay just won the stake. She was injured in the fire, and Richard's Boy and Conquest Tsunami were in the fire. So, horses are very resilient.
Can we talk a little bit about the Conquest Tsunami story, because he was missing in action and then thought found and not? Kind of walk us through the whole emotional ride of that.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster. There were a lot of horses that we didn't find for 2-3 days, and we didn't know if they were running out on a road or if they were dead, and it was a crazy time, and I hope no one else ever has to go through a barn fire, because it's the worst thing it could ever happen to a barn.
When did you decide to bring Conquest Tsunami here? Was it before his win at Santa Anita?
Well, no, it was after his last win. Mr. Barber, after he beat Stormy Liberal in the stake down the hill, and he ran a big number, Mr. Barber suggested we should try and get an invite for him, and at that point we already had Stormy Liberal and Richard's Boy, but fortunately enough, the Dubai Racing Commission invited us, and here we are.
Stormy Liberal did make an overseas journey already. Didn't probably go as planned. So how did you regroup from that, and what went the decision to bring him overseas again?
Well, it was kind of more an owner's decision than a trainer's decision, but he didn't travel well to Hong Kong, and they run the opposite way than we run, and so he had some excuses, and I think he's traveled better this time, but if he doesn't run well, I don't think we'll be traveling again with him if he doesn't run well on Saturday.
Roy H., one bad trip from another horse away from being a 7 in a row. He's a champion. Can you tell me just a little bit about the development of him?
Well, we always knew he had a world of talent. I thought he was a stake horse from day one, but he just never put it all together. And he trained fantastic, and he'd run very average. And finally, after 2 years of frustration, we decided to geld him. And I think that was the main thing. When we gelded him and gave him a little bit of time, got over some of his minor issues, and he's just been a monster ever since.
What would it mean to you, your stable, your horses, to be able to win this weekend?
It would mean the world to me. This is really the top of the game. The Dubai World Cup and the Breeders' Cup are, the days in horse racing, in my opinion. And we got lucky enough to win 2 Breeders' Cups. If we were fortunate enough to win a race Saturday night here in Meydan, it would really be special.